Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we are in day 3 of the 3-star air support raid tournament. I'm going to feature my 5 raid flags with commentary. If you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and turn that notification bell on so you can be alerted of when I drop new content. So I am 10-0 on the week on offense. Defense, not doing so hot, although we are at a C rating now. We started out at an E, went to a D, and now up to a C rating. So an improvement there, but still not great. So let's see if we can continue our offensive streak this week. Today's featured hero is going to be Zerola. Zerola is one of my favorite 3-star heroes, especially for events. She is really good. She has an extremely high attack stat. She has fast mana speed, deals 200% damage to the target and nearby enemies. The less mana the enemies have, the more damage they will receive, up to 300%. She is able to resist special skill blocking, so this character has innate resistance against ailments that affect special skills, including silencing. She has a cool passive where she grants a solo bonus for any hero who is the only member of their family on the team, which gives a plus 20% increase for any healing received. And then her Ether Power is special boost, which gives a plus 30% extra damage for special skills for the first 6 turns for her. First up today, we are going to be going up against an all-Toon team. They've got Toon Ganju, 2 Toon Burdens, Toon Jahinger, and Toon Balthazar. I'm going to bring in a couple reds and at least one other green, probably. I'll bring in Belith as our healer, I think. And then let's see who I've got for reds. I'm going to try to keep solo members together, or rather have solo members so they get that 20% extra healing. Let's bring in Buster and maybe Bagreg. So all 5 of these are of different families, it looks like. Yeah, okay. And I just want to put the defensive troop on Belith, and let's go into battle here. I do need to change my dragon, or actually I might keep it the same. That's the fighter one, which helps out Star Swift. So let's go with that. Although, just for funsies, do I have a ranger one for nature? I don't think I do. Don't think so. I think he's druid also. Yeah, I was gonna see if I can match a troop to Zerola to boost up her stats so we could see even more what she could do for damage, but we'll go with this. All right, not a great board to start at all here. Not many greens and reds, and not together in the middle. So we're going to have to try to create as many cascades as possible. I'm going to start off with the 3 blues on the right. That's going to set off 2 cascades of purples and yellows directly underneath that, along with that massive purple diamond. And quite a bit of cascading, and literally no matches for any tiles that I needed. All right, well, I am gonna see if we can make something happen rather than just matching reds or greens right now. I'm gonna match the 3 yellows vertically up against Toon Burden since he's gonna go off anyway, and hoping we get a red somewhere in there. We did not, and still no reds. Cool. All right, so at this point now, let's match the 3 greens all the way on the left, setting that cascade of reds. I'm going to match the 3 yellows vertically against Burden, hoping I get a red somewhere in there. Still no reds, man. All right. Let's match the 3 blues up top in the middle, setting off that cascade of reds underneath. All right, Burden's going off again right now. And Jahinger and Balthazar and everybody else are about to go off in the next couple turns also. Let's match the 3 greens vertically up against Toon Burden. And of course Zerola is dead before I got to really use her. Let's match these other 3 greens. Burden is finally dead. This might be too late though, because now my healer is about to die. I am going to match these blues and reds together. Nice cascade of reds. Jahinder's dead. Bagric is dead, and so is Belith. Alright, well, let's use our red dragon. Let's use Star Swift on the left over here. And if I can manage to win this with just Star Swift, that would be pretty awesome. Alright, let's kill Burden with this one red tile, I think. Perfect. And we might be able to kill Ganju with these red tiles. And that's going to give me Star Swift special again. Wow. If I can get lucky and get a red tile somewhere over here, we might somehow win this. Oh, don't set off Balthazar, please. And the dragon killed him. I could have gotten Star Swift special with those 4 red tiles, but I didn't want a chance at Cascade. So we were able to win with the dragon. Somehow pulled out a win from that. I will certainly take it. Next up, we have a Glass Azar tank team. They've also got Glass Ganju, Jahinger, Belith, and also Balthazar, all glass costumes. So I'm going to bring in a couple blues here and probably take out Belith and bring in a different healer. Let's bring in a couple of my Kareels. And then for a healer, I'm probably going to bring in Saskia. And then I might bring in another blue, because they have a couple blues up front, I believe. Let me take a look here. Yeah, they got 2 blues. So let's bring in, you know what? Let's bring in 3 Kareels. And get that defensive troop on Saskia. Apply, and I do need to change that dragon to a green, or rather a blue dragon. Do I have a barbarian dragon? Because that would be pretty cool. Ranger, and I think he's a monk. Yeah. Let's bring in Flumen. Yeah, he does damage. So let's bring in him. All right. Flag number 2. And of course, like, no blues. Cool. All right, well, let's start off with the 3 greens on the right against Balthazar. And let's match the 3 greens up against Jahinger. And the 3 purples up against Belith. Alright, we did get a green so that we can get Zerola's special. I'm going to hit the red diamond, actually, do some tile dumping. Everybody's mana is kind of foolish anyway, so I'd like to get a couple specials off before Zerola uses her special, though she just got her mana knocked down. Although, we can get her special back with these 3 greens. Nice cascade of blues. That's probably going to kill Azar. Awesome. Alright, let's heal with Saskia. That's also going to give me that enhanced dodge effect. And I think I'm going to wait to use Zerola until the specials go off. Because remember, she does more damage if the enemy has less mana. So right now, I am going to match this massive purple diamond, setting off that cascade of yellows. And 3 of them dodged it. Cool. Now, let's use Zerola on the 2 on the left. Alright, now let's match these 3 yellows, which is going to give me Saskia's special back before the other specials go off. And then let's match these 3 yellows. We're just going to set off that cascade of blues. Actually, we got a blue diamond cascade, even better. Jahinger's dead. I've got my 3 blue specials. We should be able to do quite a bit of damage to the 2 on the right. And that dodge effect from Saskia is really, really useful. Alright, they're dead, and Ganju's going to be dead with this 3rd hit from Kareel. Awesome. We are 2 for 2 today. Next up, We are going to go up against a Glass Jahinder tank team. They've also got Glass Priska, Glass Ganju, Glass Kailani, and Toon Hawkmoon. So I am probably going to keep the team the way it is, because I do like having those 3 strong blues. We've only gotten to use Zerola special once so far, so hopefully we can get her special activated again this battle. We do have a few greens here. I'm going to start off with the 3 greens on the left to Priska. And then I'm going to match the 3 blues vertically, setting up that little cascade of yellows and reds underneath. And some more reds. Jahinder's already dead. Awesome. Now, I am gonna match the 3 yellows vertically against Ganju, I think. I don't have a ton of options. In fact, that actually might be literally my only option. Yeah, I can't match any purples, any greens, reds, or blues. Okay, yep, that's our only option. That's what we're going with. Nice cascade of blues. I am gonna match the 3 reds, setting off that cascade of greens. Thought about matching the 4 greens, but I'd rather have that cascade, because the 1 extra green tile would not have given me Zerola special anyway. Alright, let's use Saskia to heal and give me the enhanced dodge effect. Now, let's match the 3 blues so I can match the greens next turn. And actually, before we do that, let's see if we can kill Kailani over here. Awesome. Ghost these green tiles. That's going to give me Zerola special. And I think I'd like to just kill the healer. Even though Zerola's a hit 3, I could hit the 2 on the left and kill Ganju, but I'd rather kill their healer. Get them out of the way. Let's match these purple so I can match some yellows next turn. Just kidding. We got a cascade. Zerola's getting beat up over there. Alright, this should end the battle with the 3 Kareels. Awesome. Those 3 Kareels together are really doing a ton of damage. Alright, next up we have a Swan Maiden tank team, so we can actually bring in some greens this time. Let's bring back in Beelith as a... Actually, you know what? Saskia as a healer is really awesome, so let's keep her in. I really like that enhanced dodge effect. And then I want to bring in some greens to deal with Swan Maiden. So let's bring in another attacker. Actually, let's bring in Toon Burden. He does extra damage to blue. And then I think I'm going to bring in Ganju maybe, and maybe 1 other green. Maybe Ishtak or Alessia. Definitely want to bring in Toon Ganju though. And then I've also got Felton. Yeah, let's bring in Felton. Alright, let's go into battle with this, although I need to change my dragon. Almost forgot. And Solus is a cleric class. That doesn't help me. Sting is a fighter class, I think. Nope, Ranger. That doesn't help me either. And then Glimmerwing is a paladin. So I guess I'll bring in Sting since he does attacking, although his assist is not leveled up. Solus is, though. So let's bring in Solus as the dragon. Alright, here we go. I am going to start off with the 3 greens up against Priska. Now I'm going to match the 3 blues vertically up against Swan Maiden. Trying to create some sort of cascade, and we got a little something and something afterwards. Not that I have any purples, but at least that will help me tile dump, which I am going to do right now, actually. I'm going to match the 4 blues up against Swan Maiden, so I can match some greens next turn. Let's do this. Let's match these 3 yellows up against Swan Maiden. And then I'm going to match these 3 reds, setting off that cascade of yellows directly underneath. Alright, now I've got my yellow specials. Let's use Saskia to heal. And then I think I want to try to kill Swan Maiden. She does have the dodge effect. It's a 30% chance to dodge for 2 more turns. Let's hit this green dragon and see what that does for damage. And I might just wait another turn after that to kill her. Although she's almost dead right now anyway. Oof. Zerola couldn't avoid that hit from Balthazar. That was unfortunate. Alright. Let's match the 3 yellows, and then I'll attack the next turn. Actually, this is going to kill Swan Maiden anyway. Perfect, even better. Man, Zerola's getting, like, beat up by these snipers. I feel like every one of these snipers the last couple battles is attacking her. Alright, let's hit the 2 on the right. Let's use Felton first, because then the buffs will reflect back. Just kidding. Glass costumes reflected that. Let's kill off Kailani with Burden. And then I'm going to use Ganju against Balthazar, 879 damage because of it being extra against purple. Nice. Let's use Saskia to heal, and then I'm going to hit these 3 greens, which should give me Burden. And I'm just going to hit this red diamond, do some tile dumping. We should be able to end this battle in a moment. And with these 3 yellows should do it. Perfect. All right. We are 4 for 4 now. 1 match left today, and it's going to be another Swan Maiden tank team. They've also got Glass Shahinger, Glass Burden, Glass Belith, and Glass Balthazar. I think I'm going to keep the same exact team here. Yeah. Hopefully we can keep Zerola alive. Her attack stat obviously is very high, but as you can see, her defense stat, although, like I said, she's also been getting targeted by these snipers, which has been a little annoying. All right. We have a decent amount of greens to start here. I'm going to start off with the 3 greens, or rather the 4 greens, horizontally up top. And then I'm going to match the 3 greens with the dragon. That's going to set off that cascade of reds underneath. And that's enough to kill Swan Maiden. Awesome. And I've only got 2 greens. Partially because of that high attack stat that we were just talking about with Zerola. Alright, now I am going to match the 3 blues. Actually, let's match the 3 yellows before I separate them on the right. See if we can get a green on the bottom. We did not. Field's going to go off right now anyway. So let's match the 3 blues up against her so I can get some greens. We're just kidding. We got a cascade, even better. Alright, let's use Zerola on the right over here. Especially where Belith has almost no mana. She has a pretty high defense stat, so it's not going to do too much damage. 454, that's not bad. And let's see if we can kill her with Burden. Alright. Now, if I hit this red dragon, that's going to set a cascade directly underneath of the greens. Awesome. And we've got everybody special. All right, let's use Saskia first to heal, Zerola on the left to hit the 2. And then I'm going to use Felton to kill Balthazar. And now let's see if we can kill Toon Burden. Or close to it. Yep, perfect. And then I'm just going to ghost tiles over here until I can get enough specials to kill Jahinger. Actually, I'm just going to hit this yellow diamond, or match the yellow diamond. That's going to kill him. Perfect. All right. We went 5 for 5 today and had some pretty terrible boards, honestly, if you ask me. We are in the top 1% right now. If we look at the leaderboard, we're ranked 2255, even being 15-0, but that's mostly because my defense has been pretty trash this week, as per usual. Let me know how your 3-star air support raid tournament is going this week, and that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful, and if you did, hit that like button, make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.